Hey everybody, welcome back to part 6. This is day 3 of the conference. There is only one more actual day of the conference left, while there's technically no footage of the conference. We have lots of awesome photos from tonight. From that night. This was by far the most challenging night that I had at the conference, and I'm really excited to kind of share you the story and the journey of from coming up with this epic plan to shoot this shot to failing around every corner to be kind of gifted the opportunity to have a little bit of success, even if it is a photoshopped success for the final image. So thank you for checking this out again, and I look forward to seeing your comments on the video. Thanks again, and let's get into it.
Continuing from the Part 5 video, I awoke at the crack of dawn around 6:30 a.m. I swiftly packed up my gear that had been continuously capturing images of Andromeda for the past hour. Exhausted, I retreated to the hotel and crashed for a few more hours, seeking respite and much-needed sleep. Around 9:30 a.m., I roused myself from slumber and refreshed myself with a quick shower in preparation for the conference. By 9:50 a.m., I was on my way, embarking on a 50-minute drive to reach the conference venue for another exhilarating day of panels. During the lunch break, I had the pleasure of conversing with Dr. Bryony Richards, a geologist and operator of Utah Astrophotography on Instagram. Eager to uncover hidden gems for breathtaking panoramas, I inquired about secret spots. Much to my delight, she shared a valuable tip. Almost mirroring my previous day's location, she divulged that ascending a nearby hill would grant me an awe-inspiring view of an early Milky Way arch. She even sent me a photo reference as proof of the magnificence. Witnessing the shot, I couldn't help but marvel at its sheer splendor. Dr. Richards uses an Astra-modified camera, harnessing its ability to capture more light and hydrogen alpha data, while also enhancing the ethereal phenomenon known as airglow. She recounted how the vibrant green airglow that night even influenced the foreground. With the conference concluded for the day, my spirits brimming with newfound excitement, I set out once more to Zion National Park. Returning to Checkerboard Mesa, I parked my car on the roadside pullout. As golden hour bathed the landscape, I seized the opportunity to capture striking images using street lines as leading lines and other various photos. Scaling the mountainside, I swiftly snapped reference shots with my cell phone. Once the reference shots were secured, I descended and ascended a hill on the opposite side of the road, aiming to immortalize the sunset from a fresh perspective. I present to you these captivating shots. As the sun dipped lower and lower, and the enchanting blue hour beckoned, I hastily made my way back to the other side of the road. Positioned at the spot, I promptly retrieved my trusty 50mm lens. The Canon 50mm 1.8 STM. That's right, the super cheap one. Tonight's goal was to refine my skills capturing low-arch 50mm panoramas. Meticulously, I completed the foreground shots, arranging 3 rows consisting of 15 images each. Behold this colossal panorama. The dimensions were 37,940 by 10,782 pixels. It was huge. With that task accomplished, I returned to my car and commenced the arduous task of editing the photos taken from the previous night. My heart yearned for clear skies, but alas, my hope was dashed as clouds stubbornly persist. Around 11:30 p.m., I prepared to regain my position, fully aware that capturing the sky for the panorama would necessitate at least 2 rows. I aimed it to commence shooting by 12:15 a.m. or around 12:30. Unfortunately, the sky offered no respite. With clear conditions prevailing to the west while the clouds encroached from the east, disheartened, I deemed the shot a failure. However, examining the cloud map, I resolved to take a gamble. and venture to the open parking lot where I had parked during my visit to the Great Chamber. Arriving at approximately 2:30 a.m., I was greeted by a crystal clear sky above. In a mere 10 minutes, I had set up my equipment, ready to immortalize the majestic sky above. Yet, as if mocking my efforts, clouds began their swift approach from the northwest, threatening to extinguish my hopes once more. Swiftly adapting, I switched to my trusty 14mm lens, intending to capture the Milky Way with a single row of shots. Alas, after only a few lengthy test exposures, clouds rolled into the scene, signifying another unfortunate failure. Defeated and despondent, I packed up my belongings in a fit of frustration and embarked on the journey back to the hotel. Wishing for relief from the obstinate clouds, my eyes caught a glimpse of clarity approximately 10 minutes away from the hotel around 3:20 a.m. Without a moment's hesitation, I secured an area for a suitable spot to pull over and set up my equipment. Hurriedly, I prepared everything for the shoot, fully aware that the Milky Way, positioned high in the night sky, required 2 rows even with a 14mm lens. With 6 shots per row, and each shot having a 3-minute exposure, I estimated the required shooting time to be approximately 36 minutes, assuming no mishaps or delays. Being that I was on the side of the road, I knew that cars could possibly come into frame, and the lights from cars could affect the photo, since time was also of the essence, as twilight would commence around 5 o'clock, leaving little room for error. The first test shots left me astounded at the captivating turquoise sky. The airglow permeated the atmosphere like nothing I had ever witnessed before. Upon color correction during later image processing, I discovered a mesmerizing display of reds, yellows, and greens in the airglow. Alas, 4 photos suffered from tracking errors due to my failure to scrutinize them in the back of the camera. While I managed to discard a few, some were still deemed usable. In hindsight, I should have reviewed each shot meticulously, but with the pressing time constraints and my exhaustion from the previous days, impeded my diligence. The final image presented here represents a blend of the completed panorama of the original foreground captured during blue hour and the sky captured later at night around 4:30 a.m. While this image may technically be a composite image, because I did move the tripod locations so many times, this is a fairly accurate representation. The Milky Way may be shifted over slightly to the right, but when the Milky Way arch is low, it is a accurate shot.
Hey, thanks for watching the video. This was the most challenging video that I've ever produced and edited myself. I do everything myself, quite frankly. The first thing I did was create the script, and then I put the script through ChatGPT to fluff it up a little bit, recorded the whole thing, put everything in here, and then added all my images and realized I didn't have enough images and videos to fulfill the script or to tell the story of the script. So I had to go and find all the stock footage that was available for free and hopefully not copyrighted, and then reenact some of the scenes as well. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and feel free to follow me on social media like Instagram and Facebook. You could find me JM Naturescapes, and if you're interested in some prints, I have prints available at jmnaturescapes.com. And I'll see you in part 7. I have lots of great stuff for part 7, both videos and photos. So thanks again for tuning in to part 6, and I'll see you in part 7.